And we're singing. We're singing. Dun, 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 dun. Time to talk. Beauty and the Bitch.
Mick.
What?
Get over here. It's time to start the fucking podcast, you jolly green jizz-face.
Oh! I'm the jolly green jizz-face.
Listen, that's a statement with a period at the end of it. I'm going to clip it out.
You know what?
I'm going to use it everywhere.
You are the world's largest single-celled organism, Morgan.
I think you said I was stupid, and let me tell you right now, good sir.
Baby.
I know.
No. Oh, you're not stupid. You're just simple.
Oh.
Single cell.
You think I'm a singular organism?
I think you're unique.
I'm about to... I got more angst in my little hand that I'm about to punch you with.
Oh, now we're getting physically violent. Morgan, you're never going to win the presidency this way. I have to tell you that right now.
It's fine, because do I really want to be president for all Americans? I mean, all of them?
I mean, have you met them?
No.
That's a veto.
No.
That's a veto.
Veto!
Welcome back to another episode of Beauty and the Bitch. That's Morgan.
That's not factually accurate. I am Morgan.
I said that's Morgan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there was like a comma or a semicolon. I don't know.
Oh, okay. The punctuation was off.
I am Morgan. That's Mick.
I'm Mick, actually. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're talking about VEEP.
Series finale of VEEP, just now recently back on HBO. If you guys are a fan of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, then...
Which, who isn't?
I mean, she's literally a queen.
Yeah.
Then you're probably familiar with this show. Also, if you watch any awards show, you probably the last 7 years, you're used to her just winning everything.
She's won 11 Emmys in her career. Which, by the way, she's not literally a queen, Morgan. Wow.
Yeah, she's just like a duchess. Yeah. she's like literally like French heritage royalty.
She might be. Well, she comes from money, right?
Yeah.
Because her father, Richard
She's an
Dreyfus.
heiress. Yeah.
Oh, she's an heiress.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, she's got like those mad billions.
Wow. Okay.
Without her Seinfeld bucks.
Well, maybe she'll share some of that with me, because I've been an uber fan of hers since the days of Seinfeld.
It only seems fair.
Like,
you know
get back
I mean?
to your fans,
like,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Not?
So her father is Richard Dreyfus, and her mother is Suzanne Louis.
Yeah, some like French rich bitch. She's come from like a family of heiresses.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't actually realize that. Oh. Because I thought her money came from her father, her famous father.
I think it came from both of them.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do a quick goog.
Well, so VEEP premiered, season 1 premiered in April of 2012. And the premiere of season 7, the final season, premiered just like 3 days ago. So like late March, early April 2019. So this show has been on the air for 7 years.
Which is crazy. And she's also such a timeless actress. Like, she looks fucking fantastic.
Honestly, her outfits that she gets to wear in VEEP, she looks so gorgeous and dignified and sexy all the time. Whoever does her costumes deserves a kudos, because I mean, she's a gorgeous woman anyway, obviously, but they make her look so fucking good. Oh my god. You know who needed that stylist is Hillary Clinton.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
She sure did. Also, just to set the record straight, this interview I'm like reading with her right now, she says, "No, I'm not a billionaire. I'm only worth $200 million."
Oh, okay. Well,
just to clarify.
Mea culpa, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. We're so sorry. We were confused. Wow, $200 million, huh?
Oh my gosh, she was on SNL?
Yeah.
Dang!
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
To me, she's best known, even today with VEEP, as Elaine from Seinfeld. I think that's her iconic role.
Oh, for sure.
But she also did The New Adventures of Old Christine. Now, you being a very old person, Morgan, did you watch that show?
First of all, rude.
What?
Second of all, I did see a couple episodes, but it wasn't the sort of thing that resonated with me personally. Yeah. But it was a very similar character. I think you're right. She has this, like, version of herself that she gets typecast in, but she's so good at it that it's like you can't not picture her as that person.
It
does make me wonder who she is in real life, though.
Well, that's the thing is I start to confuse more than most other actresses. I start to confuse the characters that she plays with who she actually is. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It just seems like her with maybe a different morality each time. Selena Myers is definitely the worst character she's played. But Elaine Bennis was no fucking angel either, as far as that goes. And then I guess old Christine is who she played in the New Adventures of.
Yes, because she was divorced. She was a divorcee, and her husband got an upgrade to a younger wife.
Also named Christine?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I see. See, I watched some of that show, but all I remember is the gawky, like, skinny brother. And that's it. Like, I don't remember that show. It didn't do it for me. It was a little too sitcom-y for me. You know what I mean? Like, stereotypical sitcom.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's like a mom show or something. Yeah. I feel like I have to clarify just because I'm reading this and because I don't want us to be wrong. Her father is Gerard Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh! And
he's a French billionaire.
Oh!
He's worth $3.4 million, and that's where she's an heiress from.
Oh, so she doesn't... I thought all this time... I'm an idiot. I've assumed Richard Dreyfuss was her father. This entire my whole life.
Yeah. No, it's this rich French dude, Gerard Louis-Dreyfus. And worth $3.4 billion, one of the richest men in the world. And his great-grandfather, Leopold Louis-Dreyfus, was the founder of Louis-Dreyfus Group, which is the business that they own that keeps them so rich and famous.
Investing or something.
Guess so.
Rich people stuff.
I mean, when your great-grandfather's name is Leopold, you know you're rich as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what
it's
I mean?
already there right there
like,
in the first
maybe
name.
I should just set my future children's life up well and name all of my children like Leopold and shit.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
is that what is my best plan of action for my retirement?
I mean, it's not the worst
Leopold?
plan. It's not the worst plan I've ever heard. It's better than that plan where you decide you're just going to invest in Beanie Babies.
Okay, first of all, that's going to come back and pay off, and you're not going to be laughing when I'm sitting pretty in my house in the Bahamas.
I will be laughing. Because your crazy ass will not be in the Bahamas.
Okay, you just mad because you ain't got an original Peace Bear Beanie Baby.
I am mad, but that's not what this conversation's about. Okay, so interesting. So she doesn't come from a famous family, well, a rich family that's famous because they're rich, but not famous because they're actors or actresses.
Right, they're just rich AF.
And see, here I was calling myself a super fan. I didn't even know about her fam.
Dude, there's so much shit to know. I mean, like, honestly, nobody expects for you to know much of anything.
Oh my god! Get a few bottles of wine in this bitch, and all of a sudden she's...
First of all, there weren't a single bottle. It's a Boda box.
It is a bag.
And it is
it's
hard
a bag
to
in
tell
a box.
how much you drink.
It's a bag in a box, bitch. And I pulled out the big old wine goblets. How big would you say this? These are my favorite wine goblets.
Oh, Lord. This is like a salt. I bet you could fit a whole bottle of wine in this cup.
You know what it looks like? I think you can, because I have experimented. I think it's like 3/4 of a bottle of wine will fit in that cup. It looks like a miniature goldfish bowl.
Yeah.
That's the size we're talking about.
It looks like it should have a margarita and like 4 straws. Like,
Exactly.
this should not be a beverage for one person.
Exactly.
But here I go anyway.
Okay, so Veep, you know what? One of the main forms of humor in this show is the mass variety of insults, Morgan.
Oh, it's rough. It's
so
good.
funny.
Everyone's an awful person. I live for it.
They are awful, but you know what? In the past, I've talked about, this wasn't what I was going to talk about, but this is a really good point that you just made. In the past, I've talked about shows like Girls, where I'm like, they're all such awful friends.
It's a different
won't watch
kind
this.
of awful.
It is, and also these people are drawn together by their jobs.
Yes.
By their job, I should say.
Mandatory work environment.
Yes. And I'm more okay with everyone being awful to each other when it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to me having to believe that you voluntarily accept these people as your friends.
Sure, because that's kind of sad. Like, all your friends are trash people that really aren't there for you. Yeah. Like, that's just a really, really deeply sad thing.
Yeah, which maybe is modern America for a lot of people.
For a lot of catty friends, it is.
I guess so, frenemies and all that.
Well, and some people choose to, like, not make new friends because it's like, we already put in this effort, or like we have all this history or whatever. So, like, why start over with somebody who loves and respects me?
Right.
Which is crazy.
Well, I'm that person. I have no time for new friends, but I've got good old friends.
See, but you got good friends. Different.
Yeah, but you're supposed to make new friends and keep the old because one's silver and the other knows all your deepest, darkest secrets.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
I got shit on you.
Yes.
Pay me money.
I don't have any.
That's old-timey friendship. Anyway, so I pulled together an insulting Mad Libs for this episode.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, I'm so glad because we're doing it regardless.
Yay.
Okay, so Morgie, first I want you to give me an animal. Any animal.
Badger.
Okay. And then I would like for you to give me, Morgie, a body part. Any body part. Oh, perfect. That's actually really good for this. Okay, and then give me another body part.
Dick.
Mm-hmm. And then give me a size, like a size descriptor, like small.
Extra large.
Okay, we love it. And then last, a final body part. Make it nasty.
What, oh my god.
Clitoral hood it is. Is that a thing? Clitoral hood?
I mean, that's not like how I would phrase it, but...
Okay. I'm just going to put clit hood.
Yeah. It sounds like vent hood, which is the thing that goes above your stove, but that's fine.
Or the cousin to Clint Eastwood.
Oh, which were
Clint hood?
It's all the same thing. It's all just like, one and the same.
So is a Clint hood not a thing? This is not my wheelhouse, I'm not gonna lie. Clit hood.
It's not.
Clitoral
it's
hood?
like maybe like a slang thing, but like you have like...
Stalactites.
Yes.
Ah.
Which is what we should start calling dicks. And then, what's the other one?
Stalagmites.
But they're like a concave? That's a vagina.
Well, they are at the bottom. They're not necessarily concave. It's just if they drip from the top and then build up on the bottom. Okay, you know what? Morgan, you're a fucking gold-plated shit badger. How do you feel about that? Okay? You've got a face like you've just been stabbed in the arm. That one's not very good.
Okay.
That one's not very good. But, you can't... With Mad Libs, you can't help it. Okay. You make me want to throw up a dick and beat you to death with it. That's a good one. Okay? You are a dirty, extra-large clitoral hood.
Woo! Okay.
That's good.
That's some Handmaid's Tale stuff.
Girl. I like gold-plated shit badger.
I love that.
Yeah,
badger's a good animal.
Oh, yeah.
Always use a badger.
So one of my favorite things about this show, beyond the amazing cast, is the writing. And I think so much of the writing is frankly our type of writing where it's insult based.
Yeah.
Like so many people listen to our podcast, the early episodes, and they were like, why are you so mean to Morgan?
Right, because you're good at it.
Exactly. And that is why. That is literally why. There's no I know you know. There's no maliciousness. It's literally just wordplay.
Plus, we think being mean is hilarious.
Exactly.
Like, it's so our kind of humor.
And when we first met as high schoolers, it was all kinds of mean humor. I mean,
we would
bonded. Knock binders out of people's hands.
And Brittany would cry.
Brittany might burst into tears.
She's a little sensitive.
Whatever.
She had a bad day.
Some people have to toughen up, and that's all it is. But we've actually gotten better over the years. We're much kinder than we used to be.
No,
I think.
We're tired. We're tired, and that is what has changed. We don't have that youthful exuberance, no bills to pay, no responsibility, stay up all night playing video games, do a slumber party on the weekends, we have popcorn for breakfast and dinner, we have ramen on the side. No. Your girl has a full-time job. Yep. She's got life activities. Yep. Things have beat her down. She is hard.
Yep.
I mean, girl, it's 7:24 p.m. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, I feel you, girl.
That's what's changed.
I feel you, queen. You're right. It's not that we're less mean. We're just have less energy.
Yeah, if we drank a Red Bull right now, we would throw down some gold-plated shit badger jokes like you ain't never seen.
But as it is, you're getting just dregs.
And honestly. That's really bad for our heart and blood pressure, so we just really can't do that.
I'll tell you, I'll miss the insults on Veep when the show's gone. Because I think it has some of the best insult-based humor ever. Primarily because Jonah's crazy ass is so easy to make fun of.
Yes, and also he is intrinsically a terrible, horrible person. And you just some kind of fucking person just like him who got ahead because of nepotism and doesn't deserve anything and walks around like they own the fucking place. That's a literal walking pile of trash that you cannot help but shit on. You just have to shit on that person.
But you can tell based on his stature, he probably has a really big dick.
You think so? I mean, it would make sense because he's a really large person.
Well, it would be really sad if he didn't have a big dick, because it would be even smaller looking in relation to his giant frame.
It would. You're right. You're right.
Well, you know what I think also helps with the tone of the show is politics is a cynical business. DC is a vulgar place. I mean, I know they don't say it in front of cameras, but we all know politicians are vulgar as shit.
Yes, but I think it's first of all, hearing a woman be so vulgar, like a Selena Myers, like she does not hold back. Like that lady is vulgar. It is such a mood. I find I wouldn't consider myself like an extremely vulgar person, but like I use my language liberally. You know what I mean? And I meet people that find that shocking, surprising. Like, women don't talk like that. And I'm like a 10th of the potty mouth that Selena Myers is. Oh, sure. So I find it both refreshing, hilarious, and like also like a lot of shock factor to hear her say some of the shit that she says. And I love it. I think it's very good, and she's really good at it. Like, she nails that whole vibe.
Well, let me ask you this, Morgie. I agree with you, obviously. Has anyone ever told you to be more ladylike?
I can't recall in so many words, but like people have definitely been like, whoa, sailor mouth, or like, you know, shit like that. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, did I offend you with using the English fucking language? Right. Like, I just used a word and you're uncomfortable with it, and like, that's a personal problem. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand when people don't like what's quote unquote like foul language, or like
it's based on nothing. Why is it foul?
It's based on like a cultural construct that like doesn't fucking exist.
And it's very classist. It's a very classist thing. Yeah,
I can't fucking stand it.
Because I used to have this conversation. Okay, well, the reason I asked this actually is because my friend Jessamine, who our listeners will remember from the episode that she was on. Hi, Jessamine. She was once told to be more ladylike when we were in college.
Oh, I can imagine how she reacted.
Oh, right. And it was by an authority figure, and a pretty sympathetic authority figure most of the time. I'm obviously trying to not give their identity, but I remember
it was Donald Trump.
It was Donald. Oh my God, yeah. Back before we knew he was grabbing pussies left and right.
Oh, we knew.
Okay. Well, some of us knew. But I remember it. You know, now she's obviously a very strong feminist and a strong person, and you know, wild and amazing. But I remember how much it hurt her, and then you know that idea sort of put side by side with VEEP, which is won 11 Emmys, I think, in its run so far. Is that true? 17 Emmys in its run. And at its head is a foul-mouthed woman who, I guess, she's ladylike in some ways.
She's very feminine. She's a very feminine
but
woman.
Is she a lady? No. I don't think anyone
0%.
Exactly. But she's feminine. She's proper when she needs to be, when she's not.
She looks classy.
She does, yes. By looks, she's a lady. But by behavior, she's not. And I just think that's really lovely. I mean, even though I don't have any background in being told to be more ladylike, sadly, I do think it's important for women who have fought that battle to see someone like this, who's at one point the president of the fucking United States. Granted, not for a full term. Sure. But still, I mean, I just think what I'm trying to say is socially, I think there's a message that this show has that is not at all obvious, but I think is deeply woven into the plot and characterization of the show. Yes. And I like it. I'm a fan.
I like it too. And like, I think probably a lot of people watch it and they're like, ooh, shock factor. Like, she is the way she is and like whatever. But maybe hopefully in some ways it normalizes that like there are different versions of like all sorts of people, and women come in many different versions, and like she's a very different sort of leading lady. You know, there's I cannot think of a comparable character that stars in any show that's similar to what a Selena Meyer is bringing to the table. And like you said, to have like Emmys backing that up, like she's this like sort of horrible trash person that just like lives her life unapologetically, and we just throw gold statues at her. You know what I mean? I'm into it.
It's very powerful.
I stand for it.
It's very powerful, especially when we're constantly having this conversation, and I'm amongst the worst of the people, the strong voices in our cultural sphere. I'm one of the worst. Who's like, okay, she's unlikable, right? I use that word a lot. Now, to be fair, I use it for men and women. If I find you unlikable, I find you unlikable. But I do care about that. And Selena Meyer should be unlikable, but she's not. She's very likable. But she shouldn't be because she's a really bad person.
Mm-hmm. She's an awful mother.
A horrible mother.
Yeah.
Abusive. Literally
terrible
an abusive
boss.
mother. Mm-hmm. Abusive grandmother.
Yeah. Awful ex-wife. I mean, I'm sure when they were married, it was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Horrible vice president. Worst president.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's really not good. But for some reason, I just love the shit out of her.
Exactly. And I feel like it's such a, like, truth. Like, I feel like there's a lot of political truth around, like, this comedy of a show. But, like, everyone around her, she surrounds herself with people that are very competent in their jobs, even though they're all kind of in this trash pile together.
Except for that one redhead. Mike is not competent. But that's his whole
There's
character.
always one. There's always one.
There's a Morgan in every group.
Ooh!
Oh!
But you know what I mean? Like, they do what they do to keep her in a position of power, but she is not a competent or empathetic leader in any way. And I feel like that's such a commentary on, like, our political system. Like, there are people that devote their entire life, their undergrad, their master's, their PhD to become, like, competent in the different, like, fucking policy things and, like, all the different things that go into, like, running a country to let a shitty leader stand on their shoulders and take all the glory. You know what I mean? Like, they're just holding her up so that they can whisper the answers in her ear and, like, write her speeches and write her policies for her. It's such a bizarre system.
And it's also a very real system.
Oh my God, it's the world we live in.
Yeah. Well, that's... oh my God, I choked. I choked and became like a crypt monster or something.
I forgive you.
That is, thank you. That is something I heard Pete Buttigieg.
No, don't. We're not making up fake reporters.
No, that's a real person. It's a real guy. Okay. He's running for president, Morgan.
Okay. Well, him and Pete 7 Buttigieg? Million other fake people, but
no,
you go ahead.
He's actually real.
Okay, he's a Russian bot. Go on.
He's so... And listeners know who Pete Buttigieg is.
Oh, sure.
They do. He was on The View.
None of our listeners watch that. You think Whoopi is listening?
She might be.
Hey,
Shout out to Whoopi. Love you, girl.
Girl.
I love when you wouldn't let go of that check.
I liked you in Ghost.
Yeah. Anyway, Pete Buttigieg was actually saying, though, he is real, Morgan, don't say anything, that the way that he thinks his experience as mayor of some town, I forget where, some Midwestern town, the way he thinks that experience is going to bleed over into being president is he was like, look, what being a leader is listening to people smarter than you. And then if they all agree, great, you've got a decision. And then when they don't agree, two smart people, you as leader have to use your judgment to make a decision between the two of them or compromise. And that's where you earn your money. But really, all I do all day is sit in a room and listen to people tell me what the best course of action be. And those people are all smarter than me. They're all better educated. And I'm kind of a Pete Buttigieg fan at this point. I can't really say his last name. I always kind of slur it.
Is he like a candidate for the Democratic Party?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's gay. He's gay, which is a plus. He's also white, which is a minus. But it's a, you know.
You can't have 100%.
You can't have everything. But yeah, I think he's our age. He's maybe a couple of years older than us. And he's a veteran, Morgan. Anyway, this is not about Pete Buttigieg. But I'm just saying, what Selena Myers does actually is the way politics works in our country. As fucked up as that is. Perhaps, you know. And what we care about as voters, and it's never been more obvious than in the presidency of Trump, what we care about as voters is image, how you look in your dress / suit, though Trump is a nightmare, but he's allowed to be nightmare looking, and sort of the image you present. We care about your, what's that called? Your brand. Mm-hmm. We care about your brand in America these days.
Yeah, and Americans, you know who you are. They care about like this business and like money persona that Trump has like brought to the table, false as it is. Mm-hmm. They don't educate themselves on the facts, and like you said, they just go with face value brand, and it's so disheartening as a human to just like live in that. But then again, there are times when it hasn't been disheartening because I bought into that Obama brand.
Sure.
Girl.
Sure.
I was ride or die, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, and
but you're certainly true that he lived that reality as well, surrounded by a group of smart people.
Exactly. Well, and there have always been brands. You're smart to bring up Obama. I mean, President Clinton was certainly a brand. And frankly, if there's one thing I could agree with the anti-Hillary people on, it's that Hillary's brand is stale. That's a big part of why she lost. Yeah. She's just not. She doesn't have the charisma that some other. Well, Trump has lots of charisma. I hate him, but he's charismatic.
Pokemon go to the polls. That's the thing she said.
Oh, okay. I literally thought you just had a stroke for a minute. I was really
That's
worried.
what I thought when I heard her say that.
Yeah. She's so out of touch.
I was like, bitch, you done let me down.
Oh, speaking of touching and being out of touch, do you want to do a Marry, Fuck, Kill?
Oh, I love it. Okay. It's been a minute.
It has been a hot... Well, we've been doing a lot of kid things. It's like, you can't really do Marry, Fuck, Kill with Chronicles of Narnia.
Dumbo,
Right.
the circus handler, or Dumbo's mom.
Definitely want to fuck his mom, because she's crazy.
Is she crazy or like postpartumly depressed?
Yeah, well, whatever. Either way, it's a good lay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Elephant pussy. Okay.
You stand for elephant pussy, but not people pussy.
not lady pussy, but
no,
elephant pussy.
That's different.
That's like in Star Wars where he crawls into the dead body. That's elephant pussy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Mary.
It was a tauntaun. Sorry, I was trying to think what it was. Yeah.
Tauntaun. What'd you call me? Marry, Fuck, Kill. Selena, Amy, Sue.
Sue's the assistant.
Sue's the gorgeous assistant.
Okay.
Amy's the campaign manager.
Selena's the Selena.
And Selena's Selena.
All right. I feel like I have to fuck Selena because that bitch looks like she gets it.
I feel that. And you also don't want to be married to her.
No, God,
0%.
no.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill Amy.
Yep.
Because she high strung.
Yep.
And there's only room for one of those. And I'm going to marry Sue because she's like slow, steady, wins the race. She gets her shit done. But I also feel like she knows how to spend quality time and like check out. You know what I mean? Which is what I need.
If I was going to be friends with one person from the show, like character-wise, it would be Sue probably. Because Sue is like down to earth. She can be like bitchy as anybody else, but she's normally actually pretty sweet. She's competent. She's not dramatic. And she's stunningly beautiful. Stunning.
What about that guy from Office Space who's the numbers guy on her campaign?
Oh, yeah.
I think I could be friends with him in real life because he seems like that kind of dude that's like real analytical, but that if you were like, hey, I brought this beer bong, he'd be like, bet, let's do it. You know what I mean?
What is his name?
I literally
love
have
him.
no idea.
He's the boss
great.
in Office Space.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday.
With that fucking mug. Yes.
That'd be great.
God, he looks the exact same age, doesn't he?
He's
That's
pretty
freakish.
ageless. He was also in Pineapple Express.
Who did he play in Pineapple Express?
He was like the drug dealer, like the drug lord or something.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He was very good.
Okay.
That's a movie?
I remember. I've seen the movie.
You said you don't remember that show. That's stupid.
Oh. Damn. See, everyone thinks I'm the abusive one, but once Morgan gets drunk, it's all just razor blades and cutting comments. She's cutting me right now.
But with wit.
No, with an actual razor blade.
Don't
I'm
tell
bleeding.
them. You shut up.
I was just kidding. That was a
No.
joke. That was a joke, and it's my fault. Marry, fuck, kill. Gary. Jonah.
Oh, no.
Richard.
Which one's Richard?
The black one.
Oh, he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
He has a pretty thriving career as like the side comedy person.
And to me, that's really impressive because he came in so late into this show.
He did.
And he's become as much a part of the cast as anyone else.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
I'm really into him.
He's also the donor father of Selena's
Yep.
grandchild.
I like when he's like, I'm going to be a father. And she's like, you literally just signed away your parental rights.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that girl, the person who's like her security guard that's like the wife of
and her daughter's lesbian.
Man,
wife,
that
yes.
lady's butch as hell.
Yes. And kind of high, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'm kind of like, I would hit it, I think.
I know.
Yeah,
it's like a very intimidating thing, but like I
Mhm.
feel like she could tell me what to do and I would have to do it.
Oh yeah, I feel like she could slaughter a pig for me.
Dang.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that lady brings the intensity. I'm very into that. Okay, so we got Richard, we got
Jonah.
Oh
And you got Gary.
God. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so just in case y'all don't watch, Gary is her fumbling personal assistant / bag bitch.
Yes, her bag boy. And he is famous from Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah.
He plays Buster.
Uh-huh.
And he basically is just a different version of Buster.
Very similar.
Which he does so well. So well.
He really, I think the first couple seasons, Gary kind of makes the show. For me personally.
So
He's so
good.
funny.
So smart. He's so like, because of those Buster and Gary. Because they're so like meek and weird and like whatever. He's a person that I'm like, who the fuck is he in real life? Like, I have no concept of what he might be as a regular person.
You have never heard him on a podcast or anything?
No, never.
I bet he's really funny.
I bet he is.
I bet he's like really chill. Because he seems so smart to me. And he also, the kind of comedy he does makes me think he's got a really strong emotional understanding. And like, he understands what is a social taboo. I bet he's smooth as fuck.
Man, I would love to hear him on a podcast. You're so rad. I'm going to see if I can find that.
Him.
Come on the podcast, baby.
Yeah, we don't remember your real name, and we're drunk, but otherwise, we're great hosts.
That we're great friends to be around.
That's true.
We're fun.
Yeah, unless we start talking about high school, and then we leave you out.
Yeah, so I'm going to kill him.
Oh!
As a character.
Oh, so hateful. Okay, he's dead.
As a character, I don't want to fuck him. I don't want to marry him.
So you're going to fuck Jonah and marry Richard, I assume.
Obviously.
You have to, yeah.
I mean, I cannot be with Jonah forever because I will kill myself.
But we've already said that we think he's kind of fuckable.
Probably.
In certain lights, you're like, I would fuck it.
But like low lights.
Yeah.
You gotta bring the lights down like real low.
You know who he reminds me of body-wise? And they have very different bodies, but it's that tall, big, lanky thing.
A basketball player.
No.
Barney.
He's in Girls and he's in Star Wars.
Adam Driver.
He's
definitely not as buff as Adam Driver.
No. And also face-wise, I'm not coming for the man, but he's nowhere near as beautiful as Adam Driver to me.
But the rest of it, yeah, I can see
that. But that kind of body type, I call it raw-boned. I don't know if that's even what it's called, but like a raw-boned body. It's like almost like a cowboy or pioneer body.
Sure.
I'm like, yes,
yeah.
Oh,
it's
fuck
rugged.
me in the dirt.
It's rugged. Yeah, okay, so we're down with that. And then we're going to marry Richard. Honestly, just like a lifetime of belly laughs, I bet.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
See, now, I disagree. I would fuck Jonah for sure. But I would marry Gary because he just I would assume he would just worship me. Now, unless he's still working for Selena, in which case he's unmarriable because he's married to Selena.
I just don't think there's any world that he's not working for Selena. No matter if she has a job or not. I think he'll always be her bag boy.
What if I kill her?
Okay, then you'll be in prison, so who cares?
I won't get caught.
Who are you married to?
I won't get caught.
You gonna blame it on Gary?
Yeah.
You're gonna marry Gary and then blame it on Gary.
Yep. It's called the Gary Switch. It's a movie. It's a movie coming out
probably will
on
be.
Cinemax.
Copyright. Mick Parker.
2019. No, don't bring Beauty and the Bitch in. This is me alone.
I get like at least 30%.
You get 0%.
You get
0% and a slap in the face. This partnership? Anyway. So my favorite quote, because now we're not going to spoil episode 1 of season 7, but we have both watched it.
We did. Yeah, streaming now. What, because I'm drunk?
You can't even drink out of this goblet right now.
It's too big.
I saw you just bring your lips to the goblet, consider it, and then reconsider. Put it down to make a comment because you were afraid.
All done.
Okay, well, you finished it. My favorite quote from episode 1 of season 7 is, and this is a Selena quote, it's not a spoiler, I shaved my muff in the sink of the old boys club. She's talking about being the first female president, and I was like, yes.
In
to
the
me,
sink.
That quote is indicative of this whole show. It's everything. It's vulgar, but it's also the inspirational aspects. You know?
Like
she is
I
a strong
broke the
person.
fucking glass ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think she says I took a shit on the glass ceiling, actually. Which, again, vulgarity. Now, The Guardian calls Veep the best and most brutal comedy of the decade. Agree or disagree, Morgan?
It's definitely brutal. I think brutal is a great way to describe it.
But wait, it's not as brutal as Always Sunny in Philadelphia, though.
I think it's brutal in a different way. Like It's Always Sunny is like, to me, I feel so removed from it that it's like such a fantasy comedy. Like, not saying that those people don't really exist or whatever, but it's so outlandish, like, that it's a fantasy comedy to me. Like, those people are so irrational, and like, to me, I'm like, there's no way they exist. And then I look at Veep and I'm like, these people are real. They're on television right now. Gary is like this dude whispering into any politician's ear at every moment. Like, to me, it's very real. And it's also very personal because it's like the governance of our daily lives.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking assholes like Selena Myers running the show.
Well, that actually, I agree with you on that. I love Veep. I don't think it's the best comedy of the decade.
It's not my favorite comedy.
Parks and Rec came out like 2 years earlier. That's what I would say is the best comedy of the decade.
It's hard,
personally.
like, because the word best is like so subjective. Because it's like,
even mean?
What do you like the best? It's not my favorite comedy. But, like, I think it's an extremely rewatchable show because it's so quick-witted. Like, I feel like you could get something else from rewatching it. But I feel that way about Parks and Rec. I feel that way about 30 Rock. Like, I think those are all very rewatchable shows.
Well, and certainly it's the most awarded show. If you're saying best based on the Emmys, Veep is the best show that's ever existed.
And you're right to bring up fucking Parks and Rec because it got robbed.
Yep.
Parks and Rec never got the due that
and that's
it
insane.
deserved.
That's insane because that show,
so good.
But you know what? All those people got their careers out of it, though.
Yeah, people are doing fucking Chris Pratt. I mean, okay, he's doing
all of them. Literally, all of them have careers right now. Well, Aziz Ansari's hit a rough spot, but beyond that, he'll bounce back. I mean, even what's her name?
Retta.
Yes, she's in that new show on
Good
Hulu.
Girls?
Yes.
So it's actually
look at you, finger on the pulse.
I think it's on like a network television.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it streams. You can stream like previous seasons on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay.
And it's been on my queue to watch, and I just haven't had time for it yet.
Me neither, but I'm gonna get there.
I want to, yeah.
And I'd love to see her on my screen again. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is not about Retta or about Parks and Rec. I think though that the reason the producers decided to end this show at season 7 is exactly because what you were saying about the humor and how it's cynical, almost sad humor, because these people really are in our government. Mm-hmm. With the Trump presidency, I think they realized that where the country is right now and the mood of the country, we don't need to see these kind of politicians on screen because to a lot of people, the majority of Americans, I would say, this is who we really think is in our presidency. Like, these are the kind of people we really think are in charge. And so it becomes too real life and not enough like fantasy comedy, I think. So I think that's a big part of the reason they decided to end the show.
That sounds very accurate. And like it is kind of a buzzkill to have like such a horrible politician at the helm that we are faced with on like a daily basis. Like, we're in a goddamn farce. Like, everything is like, it feels like you're watching an episode of Veep because of like the bullshit that you have to listen to every single day. Yeah. You're like, listen to this fucker.
And just the ridiculous ineptitude, you know?
Yes.
Like when he fell asleep tweeting and wrote, what he wrote? Confafi?
Kofefi.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that you would see.
But then the next day, his staff, Sarah Sanders, was like, it wasn't a mistake. It was like a secret White House, like, secret thing. Like, to have your staff be like, we can fix this bullshit that you did, and then, like, put themselves out there and be like, we're fixing this shit. It's so embarrassing.
Sarah Sanders in general is embarrassing. The way she, like, all right, everybody, let's come together now. I mean, fucking hate her. She's the mouthpiece of Sauron.
I wonder if she, like, hates herself. If she, like, goes, like, slogs to work every day, like, I'm paying the fucking bills, and I'm a fucking liar, and I'm a horrible person. Well, or if she, like, truly believes that, like, everything is fine.
No. She's too smart for that. You can tell by looking at her. She has, and her daddy is Mike Huckabee, so she knows plenty about shady Republican politics. Yes. Anyway, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about, but we can't help ourselves because we're talking about Veep and it's below control.
Also, Mike Huckabee, if you're listening, he was the governor of Arkansas, and you guys might remember that's where we're from. Originally. And I'm sure you did too. He did this like program called Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs, and we would go on like school field trips to go like fishing, and he would like come.
It's the most Arkansas thing I've ever heard, but no, I never.
He would come,
that.
And I caught the biggest fish at like one thing, and like my dad was so proud, and we took a photo, me and Mike Huckabee, and the like frame on it that I got in the mail was like Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs, and I just want Mike Huckabee to know I did drugs. I did all the drugs.
You did drugs while fishing. You were hooked on both.
Yeah. So, Mike Huckabee, you failed, you burnt, you high.
My failure is your failure, Mike Huckabee.
Wait, I'm not a failure. I'm doing it just fine.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Because experimenting is important, and parents don't come for your kids and say, don't do drugs. Come for your kids and say, weed's not a gateway drug, and we approve of you doing that. But, like, maybe take it easy on the heroin. Yeah. And if you're gonna do ecstasy, maybe try Molly instead. Yeah. Like, give your kids the good, right information, and they will not be led astray.
But seriously, these 2 years of heroin addiction have done amazing things for you, Morgan.
Thank
Your
you.
cheekbones are beyond. It's
I
too
don't
bad
even
you
miss
lost...
my teeth.
Me neither, Queen. Who needs them? With cheekbones like those.
Just kidding. I don't do heroin, but I did take a picture with Mike Huckabee.
I also have a picture with Mike Huckabee because I used to volunteer at PBS in Conway, and he did a governor night where people call him questions. And it was my job to get him water and to gently work his shaft.
Bitch?
I was the water bitch. No, I didn't give him a hand job. I did not give him a hand job, but I did get him water.
Oh, God. His wife didn't even give him a hand job. That's a fucking task.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders definitely molded from mud and then brought to life.
She's a golem. She's a pure golem. That is such an accurate statement.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he's disgusting and I hate him. I hope he's listening.
But you know what? That's what is notable about VEEP, bringing it back around, because they don't mention politicians past Reagan in VEEP. So what they do is they skewer politics, but they don't skewer specific politicians. So they've never mentioned the Clintons.
Sure. Yeah,
the Bushes or the Obamas. And certainly not Trump. He's never been... Well, maybe as an entertainment personality, but never as president.
But, like, in their universe, theoretically, those people don't exist. Like, it's unclear when the presidency divides from our reality to their fiction.
What I was reading online is Reagan's the most recent one they mentioned, so they're thinking that's when it divides. But, yeah, you're right. It's an alternate reality. So they might exist, but... Trump is just like, you know, a fucking casino magnate or a fucking shoe salesman somewhere. He's not who he is in our reality.
Right.
Which I think is interesting and smart on their part.
Yeah.
Because it then does become, it's not like a Democrat show making fun of Republicans or vice versa, though she's obviously a Republican. I think that's obvious, but maybe I'm wrong. What, you're looking so hard?
She is a Republican. I
think she is.
She is.
Okay,
for
she definitely
sure.
Is. Okay,
and that's a hard and interesting thing to like remember. And I feel like in a recent but previous season, that like she had an opportunity to like flip parties or something, and she was like, whatever.
Yeah,
like she has no loyalties. She's like, all I care about is being in this White House.
Yeah, and that's so interesting too. It's like her as a character, she's kind of an abyss of ambition. Honestly, it's like, why she was president already, and in season 6, you know, she decides to run again for president, and everyone is like, no, like, no, you can't go, it's over, and she's like, no, it's not over, I'm gonna be president again. It's her fourth run for president. I mean, we've never seen a politician like that, have we? Someone who ran 4 times.
Joe Biden's run many a times.
I guess that's true.
But he hasn't won the Democratic ticket.
That's true.
So, but I don't think she did either. I think she only had the Republican ticket.
Oh, you're right, because he brought her on as vice president.
And then she came on as a VP. Yeah.
And then she rode that VP to the presidency.
So I don't think she's been like a front runner. But we in our politics have lots of people who have run many times. Hillary Clinton.
Ross Perot.
Yes.
He ran at least 4 times.
What was that guy's name who invented seatbelts?
John Belts.
No, he was that guy back when we were real young that he was like kind of the jokey, like green politician.
Oh, I was thinking Ross Perot, but it's not Ross Perot.
It's a different person. I can't remember his name. Okay. But Joe Biden's run many times. Hillary Clinton's run.
She's only run twice, right?
3 times?
Yeah, twice, I think. Because Obama beat her and then Trump beat her.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Bernie Sanders has run many times. This is not his second time to run.
Well, anyway, the point is She, essentially the final season of this is her running for president for a last time. And, of course, this is not spoilers. It's just a prediction, but she's not going to get it.
No.
There's no way she's going to win the presidency. It's going to end in failure, and that's going to be how the show ends. Because that's what the show is. Is her
and also that's so, like, politics. Like you have, like, this very small window of opportunity to, like, reach for the stars. And then when it's done, you know what? Write a fucking book. Do a college tour. Speak at some shit. Get paid millions of dollars to do, like, literally fucking nothing. That's your future. And honestly, what a bright future. But it feels like a failure. You know what I mean? Like, to them, they're like, I failed. But, like, girl, to me, like, that picture of Hillary Clinton hiking in, like, Virginia, that's, like, the happiest she's ever looked in her entire life.
Oh, Hillary.
But I'm sure she's still really sad that she didn't get to be president. But, like, what a relief for her. Yeah. That she doesn't have to do that. What a job, you know?
Oh, completely. That's something I try to remember sometimes is like, you know, it's so easy to skewer presidential candidates, but like I would never want to be president.
No, Lord, no.
Ever.
I would never want to do politics. Ever.
Yeah. Well, I think I could be. I mean, I think
like a speechwriter or something.
Well, no, I could imagine myself being like a senator or like a representative. Like I could, but see, that's more about like
Congressman
you're in a caucus.
Parker.
It has a nice ring to it. What about Congressman Dick Breath?
You know, I fully support you changing your name to whatever resonates.
Thank you so much. But Dick Breath obviously fits you better. So I'll let you have it, Morgan.
Thank you.
I can see you wanting it. You're welcome.
He's a good friend.
I'm a great friend.
Don't forget me when you're a senator.
I will. No, but I would never want to be president because honestly, the blame game is just too powerful. And that's actually what brings her down, right? I forget. Is it she has to abdicate the presidency or whatever. How does that happen? Do you remember? Shit.
I think her term was just up, wasn't it?
I guess so. Partial term, she didn't get reelected.
Because she came in later in the term.
Sure.
And then I think it was like the reelection time, and she just
didn't get reelected.
Yeah. Because didn't some other woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, some other woman swept in and stole her like I'm a lady platform.
And she seems fabulous. Yeah. Lovely Hispanic woman. Well, anyway. I'm excited for season 7.
Me too.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it in real time, though, because you have to have a whole separate subscription to watch HBO. And I don't have that kind of money.
Well, I'm standing really hard with my college roommate's ex-fiance's parents' login. So that's how I'm watching HBO. God forbid they change their password, or I will be expected to fork up like $15 a month that I just didn't budget for. It's not in the budget, girl.
Yeah. And also, let me tell you, because I just did do the free, I will tell y'all, if you want to watch the first episode, you can do a 2-week free subscription to HBO. Just don't forget to cancel it. You're going to be charged $15. And I went through, and they don't have that many movies on there I want to watch. And like, it's just not, compared to the other streaming services, it's not appropriate.
I will say about HBO, it's good if you say you haven't had HBO for like 2 or 3 years. There's some good shows you can catch up on, and they
Westworld,
rotate.
Game of Thrones, VEEP,
Insecure, Barry, that new dark comedy. That's a good one. But they rotate in and out movies like a whole lot. So, like, it is kind of like hit or miss. Like, maybe one month you're like, everything's terrible. But then next month they're like, 4 blockbusters you missed seeing last year. Like, they recently uploaded The Meg, which is a horrible movie about a megalodon. I
just added that to my watch list.
I would never pay money to watch, but you best bet I streamed it the second it was available.
Okay, and what did you like it, Morgan?
Yeah, it was awful. Okay. I loved it.
Am I going to scream the entire time? I will one
No, honestly.
You know I'm so afraid of sharks.
I know. The shark stuff was so minimal.
Really? Well, that's ridiculous.
Because of money, I bet. But like...
It's a Jason Statham pick, right?
Yeah.
He's so fine. Yeah. Oh my God. I would be afraid of him in real life, but in my fantasy, we can fuck.
God, you were scared of sharks. So maybe you'll be like a smidge
I'm scared of sharks and I'm scared of Jason Statham. Girl, together? I don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like there was barely a shark in that movie at all, to be totally honest, but probably for you, there's plenty of
But when it comes, it's a big shark. I saw it in the previews when that shark bites that there's a little girl standing there. And she's doing something, and then that shark bites that glass container.
That was a pretty cool scene. That was very you're right. You're going to be very scared. But I thoroughly enjoyed that very trash action film. So HBO is good for some things.
Okay.
And especially for the final season of Game of Thrones and Veep. I mean, well worth the money if you want to wait 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Get that free trial and like do nothing with your life but watch those final 2 seasons.
That's a great point.
That's a great thing to do.
I assume they also still have, I know they have 6 Feet Under on HBO.
Oh yeah, they have all the old shit.
What's it called? Shit. The real famous one about the mob.
The Sopranos?
The Sopranos? Isn't that an HBO show?
I actually have no idea.
Okay, I could be lying about that.
You know what I use HBO for the very most is Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. I watch it religiously.
Oh, that's your View.
Yeah.
I watch The View and you watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it's only once a week and not even every week.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's on Sunday evenings.
You should start watching The View.
I love it. I love John Oliver. He's great.
But John Oliver versus Joy Behar? No comparison.
I'm not trying to come for that person.
Oh, I heard you come for Joy Behar.
I don't even know what she is or who she
She's
looks like. I have no idea who that person is.
She's a comedian. Yeah.
But I do love John Oliver.
I like John Oliver too. Yeah.
And he does a really good job of making fun of himself, which I thoroughly appreciate. He doesn't take himself seriously. He will come for himself at every moment. And he'll also call himself out. If he they did a story on Monica Lewinsky. Sorry, not to get too off topic, but Clintons. So it's on brand. Sure. He did a story about public shaming and how the Monica Lewinsky experience was such a prominent public shaming event where all the backlash came down on Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton went on living his life, and it's sexist and it's unfair and it's awful, and feminists today are the Monica Lewinsky experience is a travesty. We did her so wrong, but she's come very far and she can make jokes about it now or whatever. But he was saying how comedians tore her down, and we have a responsibility now that we're a little bit more woke to take responsibility for doing that to her and affecting her life. And he was I'm not safe from this, and he put clips up of himself when he worked on the Daily Show making fun of Monica Lewinsky, and he was I'm a trash fucking person, and he was we did her wrong. And then he interviewed her, and it was a really great interview, and so he takes ownership for mistakes that he's made.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
he also
good.
makes fun of how ugly he is all the time.
Oh, is he ugly?
He's just extremely British. He's extremely British.
Yeah, he's got kind of bulgy eyes.
I really love him. He speaks to my heart.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You keep watching your whatever with whoever. I'll watch The View.
I also really love
with Joy
Monica
Behar,
Lewinsky.
Sunny Hostin, and Whoopi Goldberg, and Meghan McCain, and that Mormon
It's
bitch.
a fierce lineup, and also that Mormon bitch.
Yeah.
I don't
What is
know
her
those.
goddamn name? Abby Huntsman. I don't mind that she's Mormon, really. Because I also have been watching... We're kind of working into plugs right now, is what we're doing. Yeah, I've been watching Sister Wives still. And it reminded me that I could totally like Mormons from afar. As personalities. I don't have a problem with them.
I know we've already gone over this, but but polygamy's not legal, but only in some places like Nevada, right?
Yeah.
So the regular Mormon church, the Utah folks, they're not into that.
Yeah. Though,
and they're actively
it's all the offshoots.
against it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's all the offshoots that are. So a couple episodes back on Good Old Sister Wives, available on Hulu, their eldest daughter tried to join, not their eldest, one of the older daughters tried to join the Mormon church, the LDS church, and they wouldn't let her because of her family. And they said it was because of publicity or whatever, because their family's on TV, but all the other wives, or the wives in the family, were the LDS church always does this to us. They'll never let a polygamist into their church and all this stuff. Even though the daughter is not a polygamist, she was just raised in a polygamous household, but she wants to be a monogamist. But they were unsurprised is what I'm saying. And so, yeah, the LDS church has tried to separate itself.
Yeah.
Pretty effectively.
Man,
they also allow
politics.
black people to be in the church now. Hey,
Did
that
they
just
not
happened
used
recently.
to?
That happened in the 70s. That
Holy
black people
shit.
could be clergy. I think.
Well, I mean, they just invented that religion in the 50s.
Yeah, and
John Smith
exactly.
or whatever, he was I have discovered additional tablets with additional whatever. I'm not coming for anyone's religion, Mormon, Christian, whatever.
It's not, look,
it's all nonsense to me, but it's just
Exactly.
your personal level of what you think.
That's the way I feel. It's like, I'm not coming for anyone's specific religion. I'm coming for all religion in general.
Like when like mainstream Christians, I guess we can call them, like, the Baptist, Catholics, Methodists, when they're like, can you believe the Mormons deign to believe that some man found additional commandments? And I'm like, okay, Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever you say. Like, yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like Shakespeare says, like, examine the beam in your own eye before you pick splinters out of mine. You know what I mean?
Recite a Shakespeare
I probably
after 2 glasses of Boda Box?
You know what? There's just, you know what? I'm cultured, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Probably it wasn't Shakespeare. Probably it was just like Snooki from Jersey Shore.
You saw it recently on Hulu. Yeah. Whatever.
But anyway, so here's the thing. Watch Sister Wives. Watch Last Week Tonight.
With John Oliver.
Watch The View. And listen to us.
Basically, that's everything you could ever need.
That's everything you need.
Your week rounded out.
Whoop, whoop.
Also, I think you should listen to Up First with NPR. It's just very
I listen to that too. It's so good.
Really
now,
good.
do you listen to The Daily as well?
I don't, but you've recommended it. I subscribe, but I still haven't listened.
Well, it's just interesting to hear what different news organizations pick as their number one story.
Yeah,
I find that fascinating because sometimes they pick completely different things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know. I want to make time for that. You're right.
Well.
Yeah, so check out all of that bullshit and check out the final season of Veep. Like we said, there should be a couple episodes out now on HBO
one out
streaming.
Right now. Oh, but
by the time
out.
this episode's
I see. I'm
out,
sorry.
yeah.
I see.
So catch up on that. It's going to be a really great, probably hilarious and trash-filled finale. Also, while you're fucking streaming that, be sure to watch a final season of Game of Thrones, which we just did an episode on right before this one. And I actually was just looking at my notes because they're in front of me, and I have at the bottom of my paper an asterisk that just says Secret Dragons. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. Just Secret Dragons.
Always asterisk. I can't even say that. Say that 5 times fast.
Asterisk.
Not just asterisk, also asterisk Secret Dragons.
Oh, I'm too busy for that.
Okay, well, we'll see you later.
We love you,
Like
babies.
us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
Like us on Instagram.
Yes.
Follow us on WordPress.
Mostly give us 5 stars wherever you're streaming.
Please
right
do
now,
that.
it's super helpful.
That actually makes a huge difference because that way we'll show up when other people search for, say, faggy podcasts about nothing.
Us.
Yeah, we should show
us.
up. But if people don't give us enough star ratings, iTunes is like, you don't really exist because just like in that episode of Black Mirror, if other people don't like you, you're not real, evidently.
Oh, God. I saw that episode.
It's fucked up.
That's wild.
What's her name? Rose McGowan.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Mm-hmm. Who looks like Rose McGowan.
No.
Well,
she looks
to
like
me.
Jessica Chastain.
Who looks like Sammy Lee Davis.
Who looks like Amy Adams because we're all racist about redheads. Redhead people are just they're the same.
Everybody's a little bit racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye,
babies.
Bye.
I want you to sing that song from the musical.
You're a little bit racist.
And you're a little bit too.
Do you have a home? Beauty in the Bitch. You look bitch. Beauty in the Bitch. Beauty in the Bitch. 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 You're